Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 567, permutation and string. So what the question states here, we are given two strings, that is S1 and S2. So here in the example you can clearly see, right? So we have been given two strings S1 and S2 and we have to return true if S2 contains any permutations of S1 as a substring. So here if S2 consists of any permutations of S1, any permutations of S1, if S2 consists of any permutations of S1, right? So then we have to return the boolean value true, else we have to return false, right? So here let's come to the first example. Let's come to the first example. We have S1 here AB, we have S1 as AB, and we have S2 as EI DB A triple O, right? So this is some weird word, man. So this is fine. For example, they have given S2 this one. So we can, in this case we have to return true because BA is present, right? BA is present here, this one, BA is present here, which is a permutation of AB. BA is a permutation of AB. Permutation means here, so we have two permutations for AB, either it can be AB or BA, right? So here BA is a permutation of AB. So here in this S2 consists of the BA, right? S2 consists of BA. So in this case we have to return true. In this case we have to return the boolean value true, right? So uh, in this case we have to return true. Let's come to the second example. Here we have AB, right? So AB and BA are the permutation of AB, right? So this we know. And S2 we have, instead of BA, for S2 they have given EI DB OA OO OA OO, right? So here in this case we don't have any permutation at all. We don't have any permutation at all in the S2. So S1 we have AB, and the permutation of AB is nothing but AB and BA. And here S2 consists of EID BA BO AOO, right? So here this doesn't consist of any permutation from the S1 basically. So this one I'm speaking of, this part, right? So don't get confused here. Just give me a second. Yeah, this one. This doesn't consist of any permutation at all, right? So permutation from the S1. So in this case we have to return false. In this case we have to return the boolean value false, right? I hope the question part is completely clear. They have given us the wonderful examples just for the sake of understanding, right? So I hope the question part is completely clear along with the examples that they have given. So next, what shall we do? Let's discuss the approach first, followed by the this one, what do you call, complexities, and then let's write the code. First let's discuss the approach. So let's consider the same first example here, this one I'm speaking of. So just give me a second here. Let me do one thing. Yeah, let's do one thing first. Let's discuss the uh, discuss the approach by considering the first example, this one. So for this we have S1 equals AB, and S2 we have this one, EI DB A triple O. This is fine. So first thing that I want to tell you here is we will be going with a sliding window approach. So we'll be going with the sliding window approach along with the help of two pointers, right? So we'll be going with the sliding window approach along with the two pointers. Just keep this in mind, right? So first thing here, what we'll do, let's go with the step-by-step explanation here, or step-by-step this one, sliding window simulation. So first thing is the length of the S1 here is 2. The length of the S1 here is 2 because we have only two characters A and B. The length is 2 here, and the frequency of S1 is 1 1, right? A is present once and B is present one. This is nothing but the frequency. Frequency of A is 1 and frequency of B is 1. Frequency of S1 will say B, right? So here in this case it is 1 1, right? So for the index, this index we have the frequency 1, and for the first index, for the 0th index and the first index we have the frequency 1, right? A and B, for the characters A and B. So let's move on with the first step here. So let's consider S2 here. We have E, we have E and I. So frequency of EI is E is 1 and the frequency of I is also 1. The frequency of E is 1 and I is also 1. So this is not equal to the S1 frequency. This is not equal to the S1 frequency, right? So here in this case, this does not match because we do not have A and B, right? Either we should be having A, B or BA, right? So the permutation of S1 is AB, the permutation of AB is AB or BA, right? Accordingly with the frequency. So it has to be present only once. So the permutation is AB or BA. So here we have E and I, which is not equal to the S1 frequency. So this does not match. So next, what we'll do, we'll go with, so we went with EI. Next, let's go with the next window, this one, this part, ID. So we'll ignore this one. Just give me a second here. So yeah, next what will so we had A, B and E, I, D, B, A, triple O here, right? So first one didn't match. So we considered EI. So frequency here, this one is 2 and we already considered EI. Next we will consider this window, ID. Next we considered ID. So this doesn't match. We have already discussed. So next we will consider I and D. So here, because the frequency here is 2, the frequency here is 2. So we are going with a window of size 2, right? So every time we'll check for the window of size 2. Next, what we will do, we'll go with the ID. ID. So ID, frequency we have for D is 1 and B is also 1. So we don't have A here. So not equal to the S1 frequency. This also does not match here in this case. So next window is DB. Next window is DB. So here for DB, what we will do, we'll check. So again, frequency of D is 1, B is 1. Again, this does not match basically. So this also miserably fails here. Not a match. So fourth one is we have BA. We have B and A here. So we have BA here. So frequencies are B equals 1 and A equals 1 here in this case. B equals 1 and A equals 1. This one we are considering this time BA, right? So BA, frequency of B is 1 and frequency of A is 1, which is same as this one. A which has frequency 1 and B has frequency 1. So the permutation of this one would be either AB or BA, right? So here BA, frequency of B is 1 and frequency of A is 1, which matches this one. This matches this part, S1. So this is valid. This is said to be valid. So this is the valid one basically, right? So this is the valid one. So as we have found one valid, this one substring in the S2. So in this case, will not proceed with the further things. So as we have found this one valid, what we'll do, we will return true here. Will return true. Boolean value true because we have found the valid substring, right? So that S1, what do we call? How can I say that? So just give me a second here. So S1, the permutation of S1 is present in the S2. So here in this case, we have to return true. If it was not present in the S2, then we would have written Boolean value false. Here in this case, we'll return true. So I can just try out in the same way for the this one, second example as well. You'll not find any valid substring. Any permutation of S2 that is present in S1. So in that case, you'll return false, right? I hope this part is completely clear. Very easy to understand, right? Simple one. So let me delete this one. So yeah, now I hope the approach part is completely clear. We went with the sliding window approach with the help of 2 pointers, right? So what would be the time complexity and the space complexity here? The time complexity would be big of n for the code that we'll be writing. Nothing but we will be traversing S2 once with a constant time operation, and the space complexity would be big of 1 because we'll be making use of two fixed this one arrays of the length 26. I mean, we'll be making use of two fixed 26 length arrays regardless of the input size here. So you'll get to know this one once we write the code, right? So two because two fixed length, this one 26 length arrays, because we are considering from small a to small z, right? The characters I'm speaking of. So we can just consider two fixed 26 length arrays regardless of the input size. So that will lead us to the space complexity big of 1 rather than big of n. So the time complexity would be big of n and the space complexity would be big of 1 for the code that we'll be writing, right? So I hope this part is completely clear. Let's do one thing. As we are completely familiar with the approach and the complexities, let's quickly write the code. So first thing here would be, if S1 is longer than S2, then it does not match at all. So S1 shouldn't be longer than S2. S2 can be longer than S1 because all the permutation of S1 has to be present in the permutation of S2, not the permutation of S2 should be present in the S. No, the permutation of S1 has to be at any cost. It has to be present in S2. Then only we can return true. So this is one edge case that if S1 is longer than S2, then it we cannot match, right? The characters can't match, or the permutations, this one, it is not possible at all, right? So then we have to return false in that case. So let's write that uh, using the simple if condition here. So I'll just go with s1 dot length. If it is greater than s2 dot length, then what we will do, we will return false. So this is fine. After the if condition, so as we have discussed this one during the complexities, we'll be going with the frequency array for S1, and also we'll be going with the frequency for current window and S2. 226 length array, fixed 26 length array. So this will be in S1 frequency. This one will be new int of 26. This is fine. So let me copy same thing here in window frequency. So this one will be new int of 26. This is fine. So the next step here would be the first step. So we have to fill all the initial frequency for S1 and the first window in S2. Let's go with a simple iteration here. So for and I equals 0. So this one will be I less than length of the S1 and also I plus plus. So this is fine. So we are just filling the initial frequency for S1 and the first window and S2. Within the for loop, what we'll do, we'll count the characters in S1. So we have to count the characters in S1. So accordingly with the approach, right? So I'll just go with S1 frequency. Within the array, I'll just give S1 dot char at this one, I hyphen A. This what we'll do, we have to increment. So as we are dealing with as we are counting the characters in S1, next step is we have to count the characters in initial window of S2 as well, whether this is present or not. So I'll just go with every step I showed, right? While counting the characters in the initial window of S2, we considered every step. In that case, in our case, we considered first example, and BA we found matching to the this one S1, then only we return true. So here we need to articulate same thing in the form of code. So I'll just give window frequency of S2 dot char at I this one hyphen A. So this we have to increment this one every time we need to check within the window. So this is fine. So the next step will be the second step, nothing but we'll be going with a sliding window over S2. Let's write this one very quickly, right? So here this will be int I equals S1 dot length I less than S2 dot length. So this one will be I plus plus. This is fine. Within the for loop, if both the frequencies match, then we have to return true. Let's write the simple if condition for it. So this will be if matches of S1 frequency, comma, window frequency. Then what we need to do, we need to return true in this case, right? So this is fine. So here we have to include the new character to the window. Also we need to remove old character from the window. Let's write that one very quickly. This one will be window frequency of S2 dot char at this one I hyphen A. This is fine. We need to increment this one, right? Also we need to remove all the old characters from the window. This one will be window frequency of S2 dot char. So this one will be I hyphen S1 dot length hyphen a. This is fine. This we need to decrement this one, right? So we need to remove the old character from the window. So this is fine. Let me come out of this one entirely. So let's go with the uh, final check for the last window. Nothing but here we need to use, let's make use of the helper function to check if the frequency arrays are equal. Let's write this one very quickly. So let's do one thing. I'll just come here. So let's write the helper function to check if both the frequency arrays are equal. So I'll just go with private boolean matches here. So this one int a comma int b. So this is fine. Within this one method, let's write here for int. So I equals 0, I less than 26, I plus plus. So within this for loop, let's write the simple if condition here. If iterated value of the a not equal to iterated value of the b, then we need to return false, right? So we need to return false, else we need to return true. This is fine. Let's make use of the same helper function here, the last line of the code, right? So here this would be return matches this one. We need to pass is frequency and window frequency. This will be window frequency, right? So this is it for the code. So let me do one thing. Let me format the code once and let me hit the run button. I hope this works, man. Let's see. So here, incompatible types int cannot be converted to this one. We have the error here. Let's check very quickly. Line number 15. What we have done wrong here? If matches, we have already made use of this one. Line number 15. Just give me a second. S1 frequency we are making use of, right? S1 frequency is correct, and window frequency we are making use of. Window frequency is also correct. What is wrong here? Int cannot be converted to this one. Let's check line number 22 first. 22 return matches of is frequency. Variable is frequency. Cannot find symbol. Here in the line number 22, this has to be S1 frequency, not the is frequency. So I'll just give S1 frequency here. Let me run this one again. So we have this one compile error. So let's check what is wrong. So here what mistake I have done here is so we are making use of the helper function matches here, right? So incompatible type int can't be converted to int. So yeah, let me come here. I have missed the array part here. So yeah, let me run this one again. I hope this works now. Let's see. Yeah, now we can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed. So let me hit the submit button quickly. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case, right? I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the complexities and the approach. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.